Has your child ever had difficulty understanding a lesson in school, but quickly got it after you've explained it differently? Maybe the problem wasn't the topic itself but the way the information was presented. The explanation probably did not suit his preferred learning style. Hi everyone. Teach My Child is dedicated to helping children maximize their potential. In this video, we'll discuss how to identify and maximize my child's learning style. We'll walk you through what a learning style is, why it's important, how to choose the best one for your child, and how to maximize it. So what is a learning style, and why should it matter? Researchers have realized that people learn in different ways. Some students learn best by watching, or by listening. Others grasp new topics by reading about them, or by doing them. These preferences for processing certain types of information, or for processing information in certain ways, define the term learning styles. A learning style refers to the methods that one uses in the process of learning. This can include how a student concentrates, how he processes information, and what strategies and techniques he uses while studying. Knowing your child's learning style is crucial to optimizing his learning. This is because when information is presented to him, using the mode he prefers, he is more likely to understand it. Certain learning strategies also match a modality better than they do others. Matching your child's learning style with the appropriate strategy can lead to greater persistence in learning tasks and deeper learning overall. You now know what a learning style is and why it should matter. You must now be wondering, how can I identify my child's learning style? Learning styles have been categorized in different ways, including Neil Fleming's VARK model. The VARK model focuses on how students prefer to receive information. VARK is an acronym that stands for the 4 sensory modalities for processing information: visual, oral or auditory, read or write, and kinesthetic. If your child is old enough, you can have him answer the VARK questionnaire online. This assessment consists of 16 questions, designed to help determine your child's VARK profile. Your child's results may show that either he prefers a particular modality, or he may not have a standout mode, in which case, he is considered multimodal. There are 2 types of multimodal learners. VARK Type 1 learners can easily switch from one mode to another, depending on the situation. For instance, they may prefer to read or write to understand terms and conditions, and to use kinesthetics to apply a certain technique. On the other hand, VARK Type 2 learners need to process information, using all 4 modalities. As such, they may take a longer time to gather information. But they often also come up with a broader and deeper understanding of a concept. If your child is not yet ready to take the VARK questionnaire, don't worry. You can also get an idea of your child's learning style through his behavior. Now let's go through the 4 sensory modalities. Visual learners prefer graphical and symbolic ways of representing information. This includes a preference for maps, diagrams, charts, graphs, and flowcharts. These types of learners are sensitive to spatial arrangement, and can work easily with symbols and patterns. They often use visual aids, like drawings and outlines, to make sense of new information. Take a look at your child's behavior. When you go on trips, does he show any interest in the maps of new locations? Does he appreciate things like fashion and design? Maybe he enjoys drawing in his free time. These could be signs that he is a visual learner. Oral or auditory learners have a preference for information that is heard or spoken. Such students learn best from lectures, group discussions, speaking, and talking things through. They find it easier to process information by talking out loud, talking to themselves, or explaining new topics in their own words. You can say that your child has an oral preference if he likes asking lots of questions or debating, and if he often gives witty side comments. He may also ask you to repeat something after you've explained it. Be patient when this happens. Remember, that's just your child's way of making sure he understands what you're saying. Students with a read or write learning style prefer information printed as words. They benefit the most from manuals, reports, essays, and assignments. They also enjoy using PowerPoint, making lists, and writing in diaries. Unsurprisingly, these students are amazing note takers. Is your child able to read through text-heavy books? Does he write or speak using difficult words? If he's already attending school, take a peek at his class notes. If he uses titles and headings, as well as lists and bullet points to organize information, your child is likely a read or write learner. Kinesthetic learners learn best when information is presented in a way that connects them to reality, either through experience, practice, or simulation. Information may be presented through a demonstration, a video, or even a case study. Kinesthetic learners need concrete examples and understand new topics best by doing them or by receiving hands-on instruction. Does your child excel in classes that involve laboratory or practical sessions? Has he learned a new skill just by watching YouTube tutorials? Maybe he prefers figuring things out through trial and error over reading instructions. All these signs point towards a preference for the kinesthetic mode. Once you've figured out your child's learning preference, you should talk to him about it and work towards maximizing his learning style. After all, your child is in the best position to know what works for him and what doesn't. The VARK model was established to allow students to reflect on their learning styles, so that they can adjust their learning behavior when they encounter problems. Now that both you and your child are aware of what types of information help him learn best, you can apply that knowledge to his study habits and strategies. Here are some suggestions to get you started. For visual learners, give them access to learning materials with pictures and diagrams. Encourage them to draw up their ideas using flowcharts and mind maps. At the end of a lesson or chapter, see if you can get them to summarize the text into one page, to derive a better idea of the whole picture. Experiment using different fonts and colors when taking notes. For oral or auditory learners, let them access tools like voice recorders, so that they can record lectures and summaries of their notes, and listen to them as needed. Allow them to comment on topics or situations as soon as possible. Let them explain what they learned to you. Remind them to pay attention when others are speaking, rather than pretending to listen while preparing a response. For read or write learners, give them dictionaries, glossaries, and reading materials. Encourage them to organize things by category or by priority. Supplement diagrams and graphs with statements like, "This graph shows that the trend is." Give them space to go over their notes silently. For kinesthetic learners, let them access materials like documentaries and biographies. Provide hands-on learning activities that make use of all 5 senses. Use plenty of examples when explaining concepts. When explaining theories, show them how they can be applied. Encourage them to take notes of examples given in class. Use previous exams as practice. Despite all these, remember that, even though your child prefers to receive information in a certain way, he should still be exposed to different kinds of learning experiences to help him become a more versatile learner. There is no right or wrong way to approach learning. Identifying your child's learning style is the first step to help him take advantage of his strengths and address his weaknesses. It is important to listen to what your child has to say. Let him tell you which learning methods work for him and which don't. That way, you can both arrive at a positive learning experience. As a parent, have you identified your own learning style? Does it match your child's? Leave us a comment below. Did you learn something new today? If so, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more ways on unleashing your child's potential. And ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos.